talking about new and pretty specific, who's heard of Microsoft Surface? Or who's heard of multi-touch in general? So you've all pretty much heard of that. I won't worry about necessarily running that video then for time, because I want to show you something else. So who's actually played with a Surface? Oh, just the one, two. A couple. So most of us haven't, and that's not surprising because it's a $10,000 piece of equipment. It's pretty big and specialist. But wouldn't it be good if you could play with a multi-touch device to see what's coming? Yeah? Pretty interesting. You could play with the environment. You could write some code maybe to explore it. Well, I thought it would be pretty good, so I looked into building my own one. And I found out that most of it's around this technology that's abbreviated to be FTIR, or Frustrated Total Internal Reflection. Now, what that's basically talking about, I've got bits here. What that basically is talking about is if you have a piece of Perspex like this and you polish the edges, you can actually embed it in a frame and you can put infrared LEDs down the side. And that infrared light will pretty much stay inside that piece of Perspex until something's put on the top. And then it causes the light to scatter and reflect downwards from what you're actually putting on. And that's what the cameras looking up in a Surface device actually pick up. And they then turn that into identifying, multiple touches, and then you write the program code on top of that. Now, it turns out it's relatively easy to do to build a multi-touch device. And there's this great user group, the Natural User Interface Group, up on the web. All over the world, you've got enthusiasts building proper infrared multi-touch devices. But what we've also learnt is that we can build one very quickly and very cheaply. All you need is a cardboard box, a webcam, and a few minutes of your time. So, a cardboard box, a webcam, and you might notice a broken picture frame, but we don't worry about that because the frame holding the fire evacuation instructions in one of the conference rooms here has donated itself. So that's all right. The instructions are still on display, but I did have to use some sticky tape. So let me just reconstruct my cardboard box very quickly here to show you what I'm able to do. You can run the timer if you like. Oh, it's going already. Jeez. So what you need is a webcam. One webcam, cheap, $12.99 webcam. You stick it in your box, and you feed the cable out the bottom. I did make the hole earlier. I missed the opportunity to use that favourite phrase. But there we go. We'll stick that in there. And obviously, the webcam does need to be open, and it does need to be facing up. Now, okay. Having done that, I can then plug this in to my machine, and hopefully it'll actually pick that up. Now, of course, you do need a surface to rest upon. So that's the Perspex piece that I'm just going to use there. And to help the webcam actually define things, I'm just going to put a sheet of paper over the top. And I'm going to just reduce the size of the area by closing in the box a little. And, well, this reminds me of Peter Purves and John Craven. Look, I can pull those. John Craven, he wasn't there. Peter Purves and John Noakes. Yeah. So, of course, it's all stuck to the table, so I now know exactly what it was like for Anthea Turner creating Tracy Island. There we go. I'm trying to reduce my age now. Okay, so we generally get the gist of what I'm doing there. I'm just going to change that one other piece, because then what I'm going to do is just run some software, which is available from the Natural User Interface Group. Okay, so we're pretty much there. I wanted it to be a little close to that A4 size. Should have got a bigger sheet of paper. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just run up a configuration utility. So this quite literally is the software that they've brought out, and it sees the right camera, so I can say OK to that. And what we should see very shortly is many different views. Now those views are in fact what the camera's seeing. We're applying different filter graphs actually to show it. So somewhere or other I've got obviously some light leakage from my bot camera. So let me just open that up and turn my camera a little. Try and hide that little light leakage that I've got there. The question is, where is that light leakage? It's probably coming in from the side. So you do need to have some consistent lighting from above. Okay,
turn up the top light.
No. I think we'll see. I can flavour it. So basically, you can see now what it's doing. This This window in the in this corner here is actually the final image window. So you can actually see, my points, and my camera is actually pointing up a little bit. So I need to just raise that probably a little bit. There we go. Let's change that. There we go. That's a bit more like it. We can just alter those pieces. So, you get the general gist. Obviously, you need to do your fit and finish for a little bit, as they say. So I now can just hit the key on that one and dive down into a very quick demo and just run up the demo. So we're using those different filters in that filter graph to be able to invert the image, take out the background and things like that. And then we can run up the software. So that's obviously interference because I haven't closed the shape. But if I now put my hand on, you can see the various points or one point, and I can actually move that around and create a big swirl, of multiple points, yeah? How about that? What was that?
3 minutes 50.
Oh, thank you. So, the great thing is that there's a .NET library that's built from the TouchLib library that these guys have been persevering with. And you can download it for free and you can create your own multi-touch environments and play with that. There's also a multi-touch Windows Vista project there as well that exploits some of the tablet PC functionality in the same fashion. And of course, we only have a little while to wait for the delights of Windows 7 to bring this sort of technology to us as well. But anyway, I thought you'd enjoy that. Thank you very much.